And so here we are, starting on the full moon, this process of the law recital, which will take probably the whole moon. Now, for us, we know that nobody else is gonna care of what we say, and you know that we don't care what anybody else says or thinks. But we will say this, that this most important time of rejuvenation, at the end of the 5 days out of time, this is where the humans have to make the DNA turn. If the DNA does not turn, if it does not flip-flop, then, you know, like in our bodies, we're made up of DNA. If that DNA does not continue turning, the double helix does not continue rotating, then that means our DNA does not grow. Our DNA does not grow. That means the molecules in my skin does not rejuvenate, and on the skin on my elbow, then as it dies and the new skin unable to rejuvenate, that means that the skin on my elbow will become raw, and then you will start to see muscle, and then tendon, and then bone, until it just deteriorates. So we are in a sacred time, a whole moon, and right smack dab in the middle of this moon, there is something so important to our Mother Earth, something so important to Turtle Island here, which is going to happen in a couple of weeks, on the 21st of August, where it is the complete solar eclipse traveling right across Turtle Island. And they're saying that it's going to go from Washington to North Carolina. And to go from Washington to North Carolina in a 240-mile band right across the country, where that is going to be darkness across the country. To have that take place, this means that there is a focus, a gravitational focus at this time. For there to be a total solar eclipse means that, well, our grandmother moon is in direct line between our Mother Earth and our eldest brother, the Sun. Now, it would be helpful for somebody to find out, do a little bit of research later, where is Venus? Where is Mercury? Now, if they are in line also, then that means you are going to have an extra heavy gravitational pull on not only our Mother Earth, but specifically on Turtle Island. Extra heavy gravitational pull. And now just think, if the fire right in front of me, if that's the Sun, if I'm our Mother Earth, and we picture the moon right directly between us, and like going right through my midsection, through my belly, well, I could feel, as it's right over me, I would feel the gravitational pull, like right on my belly, pulling towards the Sun. Now that would mean that the parts of me to my sides will not feel that gravitational pull, but my midsection will. Now think of the land, the two sides of the body, the East Coast and the West Coast, the Atlantic and the Pacific. Now imagine, right at midday, when that Sun's focus is going to be right above the middle of the country, and our grandmother moon is going to be right in line with the Sun and pulling, extra gravitational force pulling in the mid-country, that means on the sides, the oceans, the shorelines, there won't be that gravitational pull there as strong, but it will be strong in the center. Now, just imagine California. Midday, it's pulling strong in the middle of the country, pulling up. But in California, it's not pulling. It's just there. You will have a stretching of the parts of the body from the sides to the middle. Now, this is where we say that there's a possibility, not saying that, hey, California is going to go under at that time. But there's a possibility that the gravitational pull will be enough, maybe not to actually make California go, but to pull things enough in the body of our Mother Earth to affect the underground streams and pools and waters, the underground rivers. And if those things are pulled at that time, so much, like let's say if like in a vein, if you are used to having a certain volume of blood in your vein that keeps your vein at a diameter of, let's say, 1 inch. You're at 1 inch diameter. Now, let's say you got a heavy gravitational pull, knowing that the gravity pulls on the liquid, on the water. So it pulls on your blood. So if your vein is used to being open up to 1 inch, but it pulls all the blood out of there, let's say down to 50%. Now you'll have a gap from the 1 inch opening to the 50%. Now you'll have that gap, loose space in between. There will be a loose space there. And when you got a loose space, then there's a possibility of that something could collapse onto itself, or you'll have movement where there wasn't movement before. So we are saying that on the 21st, that this is going to be a very powerful time. Now, we are in time of law, and we say that every nation, every people should at this time be focused in their own law. Everybody should be focused in law, meaning rejuvenating your knowledge of who you are, what you are, where you are, when you are. Rejuvenating all that knowledge. Sitting together with your family, telling your children about, well, this is our family story, this is what happened to us, this is what happened to our people. This is the laws of how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to respect ourselves, how we govern ourselves. To teach your children how to be within identity. This is the time to do it, within this month. And when it comes time, on the 21st of that day of the solar eclipse, this is where all women, you are to put your love, your unconditional love, into our Mother Earth, free of any thoughts in your mind of what's the word here I'm thinking of, free of any thoughts of revenge, or this crime was done to me and I'm gonna get back at that person or something. Free of any thoughts of any of this. That this is the time that the women, through law, must put their love into the earth. Everybody must focus on this, because the world right now, as you know, is ridiculously still under male dominance. You know, how I just think, how could all you people be so ridiculous? How could the non-native world be so stupid that for 2,000 years to remain in male dominance and war? There is something wrong with you. There is corruption. This is the reason why this moon, from now until the 21st, that you must free yourself of corruption. This is the reason why the women, what was started with the women, with a small group, for anybody who may not know what you're hearing right now, if you're hearing this or watching this, whether it's now or in the future. There was a small group of women that was started, the women making a declaration, declaring who they are, declaring their identity, declaring what they can put up with, what they're not going to put up with any longer. This is the beginning of removing, combing the snakes from the hair, from the minds of the people, of removing the corruption, the connection to corruptions. This must be done from now, from the full moon right now, up until the 21st, when that solar, at the new moon. So you have 14 days in which to do this, to purify yourself. Women must purify yourselves. Get all corruption out of your mind. Get all connection to male dominance out of your mind. And that means within our native peoples, within the original peoples, there are women that are taking part in male aspects of our culture that you should not be taking part in. Are you taking part in dances that are male dances, that are originally connected to or designed for war? Are you in these things? The women, separate yourself from those male things. If you women were ever in a war dance, which I know that here in Kahnawake, the people who call themselves Mohawk, that they had a war dance that included women and children. And this is how they corrupted the minds, the spirit of the women and the children, to get it to the stage of where Kahnawake today is like in a war mentality, where it's aggression, where it's adversarial. Women, separate yourselves from this. And if you don't listen to us, big deal. You know, you don't have to agree with what we say or whatever, but you know that this thing is coming at the new moon. You know that we are in the full moon right now, and the full moon is the time where our mother is releasing the deoxygenated blood, where our grandmother moon is taking in that deoxygenated blood. So this is the time during the full moon where the bad taken out of us. Now when we know that that is what our grandmother moon is doing, then this is where we know that we can work with that. Tonight, in your moon ceremony, tomorrow night, and every night up until the new moon, you work to remove all of the corruption that is within you. And you